Hello, my name's Phil Dixon. I'm from New South Wales, Australia, and we've just driven this Australian Mack from Oregon right through here to York for the ADHX truck show.
What year is the truck?
This year is 1990, this truck, yes, and it's all Mack. It has a Mack E9 V8 at 500 horsepower, and it has a Mack 18-speed transmission, heavy-duty differentials, built specially for the outback in Australia. We have lots of dirt and dust and bull dust, and we have lots of rough roads. Yeah, so this is really built quite different to the Americans. This is the only one in America, this particular model of Valueliner, only made for Australia.
When was it imported?
We found this for Dan in 2013 in Wagga, not far from where I was born and bred. I went down and we drove it and convinced him to buy this one. Although it didn't take much convincing, he fell in love with it straight away.
In Wagga?
In Wagga Wagga.
I know people from there.
Do you
Scott
really?
And Tracy Martin.
There you go. So yes, this truck was bought by the man's father as a 21st birthday present. He drove it right through from that period. Glenn Menzies was his name, and he was reluctant to let me drive it. I said, no drive, no buy. So
wait, he wanted to sell it, but he didn't.
Yeah, oh yes, but he was that. He looked after it very well, maintained it, and very reluctant to let anyone drive it. So yeah, so he did a deal with Dan Thomas. Dan Thomas owns all these Macks here. He's very one-eyed as it comes to trucks. Yeah, so Dan bought it, and we freighted it over, shipped it over on a roll-on, roll-off, and yeah. Then I returned the next year and drove it to York for the last time the ADHS had their show here in
2015.
Yeah, yes. So yeah, you can see the Glenn's name there. There's a lot of information here. His last logbook. This is a logbook that we have in Australia, and the last time he drove it, which is 2013. So you can see that even the way he folded his pages, that he was very particular man. Yeah, so
original pinstriping and everything.
No, it's not. It was just a little bit on the edge, you know. It was nice, but Dan decided to just repaint it. And the guy that did the paintwork came from Australia. He came out here in 2016 to the show that was in Salem in Oregon, and he did all the pinstriping here while people were watching him.
So it's authentic.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, authentic, not pinstriping.
Yeah.
So, yes. So you can see the steering wheel's on the right side, as in correct side. Correct? Did you get that?
I did.
Yes.
I don't even know if I can get to that step. That is high.
You're
you
right.
Can't be short.
Yeah,
if I could have you hold that for a second, please. Multitasking. Oh, my goodness. My first time in an Australian truck.
That's right.
Sure.
There you go. Yes.
Wow.
Done about 3.5 million kilometres. Used to pull what they call doubles, 2 trailers, up to 100 tonnes from Sydney to Perth, mainly, this particular truck.
Do you know what it holds?
A whole, you mean the freight?
Yeah.
Just general freight, so it could quite a variety of just general freight. And you'll notice that we have centigrade there on the temperatures, which we'll have to explain to your American friends at some point later on.
I know that 16 is the same as 61 Fahrenheit. That's all I know. And I lived in the UK for years.
Oh, did you? Well,
so,
you should. Yeah, well, they were still a bit behind the time too, you know.
And everyone has their own their own taste of what measurements they use there.
Right. If you really want to know, there's only one point on the scale where they're both the same, and that's 40 to minus 40. So if you want to work it out from there.
0 and 32.
Yeah.
100 and 212.
That's, oh, yeah, you're doing really well.
So what makes an Australian truck different from an American?
Well, you're obviously looking at the obvious one with the steering wheel where it is. Most Americans open the door and they just can't believe it, and they wonder what the heck's going on with the steering wheel there. But this particular one is beefed up in the cab so that it's stronger for the rougher roads in the outback. As I say, basically it's a strengthening, and it's got a double chassis on it, so that's helps the strength of it when it's bouncing over all of the roads. A lot of our outback roads, like, we're the same size as continental America, but roughly. But the centre of Australia is very, very light population. So a lot of our native communities are well out into the outback, and these have to go across pretty terrible roads to get there.
And the really tall air intakes.
Yeah, that's right, up out of the dust. Yes, that's right. And you'll notice the big fuel tanks outside here. A few fuel stops, far and few between. And so consequently they have to carry a good supply. And it's very expensive as well, so they try and buy it where it's cheaper. So yeah, they're just some of the things. They also have a bull bar on the front, and then it really is bull bar in the outback. Yes, we have kangaroos that can cause damage, but it's really the big bulls at night time, black bulls that you don't see.
So is it open?
Yeah, there's no fences. It's just open country, and they can wander on the road anytime, and hence the reason why they're called bull bars. And it's not just for show and for pushing the little blokes off the road in the big cities or scaring the hell out of them. But, yeah, they have a good purpose to protect the truck, yes.
Well, let's go look at the back, because I know the fifth wheel is a little bit special too. Coming down, you're coming with me, everybody. It's backwards. It moves. It spins.
That's it. Yes, well, last time when we were here and people were asking about it, he was saying, well, they tow road trains over there, so they put them on back to front so they can tow more weight. Not quite correct, but it was a good story, and a lot of Americans will be going around from the last show telling that story. But it's what they call a ball race turntable. Originally designed to give a little bit better, a smoother ride. It could turn, but also it was quite good in the dusty environments. Instead of wearing on the greasy plate and on it, that would stay fixed, and the trailers and turntable would turn on the ball race, so it would keep the dust out and causing extra wear there. But when they started to wear, there was a lot of more wearing parts, so they do use it in some spots, but not as much as they used to, yes.
Has much been done mechanically to this truck since it came back?
No, I don't think Dan's done too much at all with it, really.
It looks great.
It was always well maintained. The man that owned it, he was very particular about maintenance, and it's had a few little tidy ups and bits and pieces, but mechanically, well, they did have an issue with the engine, which is pretty major, but that was a reason that with some problems with oil. But yeah, other than that, it's been.
Would parts need to be imported, or are
no. Well, no, a lot of these parts are available in America, because a lot of the parts came down to Australia, made in America. Just the chassis and the bonnet were the things that were not there.
That looks like it means business. That air conditioning system.
Yes, it is a really good thing, and these are very popular in our country because, we will get temperatures up to 112, 115 degrees in your money, and these work really well. They work well, and they didn't have to run your engine all night. I see a lot of your trucks here, they run day and night, idle while they're sleeping. And
so that runs separately?
That just runs separately, a little diesel engine in there that does a mighty job and keeps them cool without running the engine all night. Yes.
How tall is it? Not excessively tall.
No, not excessively. Yeah. That's about 13'6", I think, to the top of those exhaust pipes there. Yes, but you can see the air cleaners are on the outside as well, and that's how a lot of the E9 V8s had the twin air cleaners on the outside.
What's the transmission?
It's an 18-speed Mack box in it. Yes, and it's pretty good for pretty high speed unit. In Australia, they're supposed to be rated at 90 kilometres an hour, which is about 57 miles an hour. When you're pulling road trains, it's not allowed to go any faster than that, but he obviously had some changes made and tricks to get it up. So we run along your highway here anywhere from 80 to 90 miles an hour. So, yeah, so it is pretty quick.
Any idea what the weight of the truck is?
I don't really, actually, but it's probably around about 12, 13 tonne, I would say, yes. You can see the kangaroo logo up there. It's ridden all the way from Australia. Believe that if you want to.
I think he's mighty clean.
And we give him a bath every now and again.
Well, unless there's anything else, I think
I think you've covered it pretty well, actually. Yes. So.